You sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Varies.
A bit more broad now.
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories.
This is probably reaching a bit.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember, I went over the river. And then there was a church there. Yeah. And I probably parked. I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. There it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car. I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
I think I'm getting off track again.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
How are we doing? Nearly half, got to be on it. Did I spell that wrong? Um.
Sure, I think. I do all the bills and paperwork and handle all the money stuff, so it should be easy for me to find. Do you want them dropped off to you?
I was more looking specifically at the whole finding the body thing and who's correct, but no.
Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
didn't seem convincing. Again, I'm probably reading too much into that, but...
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Please tell me Sam don't have a twin as well, because he's just going to get even messy for me to try and work out what the hell's going on.
Yes, this is it. He made it himself. It's a special one-off. He made it and decorated it. That's his thing. Where did you find it? Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diana's a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off Ceefax, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
And suddenly, any Americans in the audience do not know what's going on. Okay. I am interested into... Ah! Oh. I can only type Y or N. It'll allow you to type nope. Okay. Right, so there we go. There's our end game. Apparently, the key bit of information that the game had to wait for was to see that they'd watched MasterChef. And now that's the key to the whole case. It turns out that she killed him with the buttery biscuit base. That was MasterChef, wasn't it? Whatever. Right, yeah, photos. No, that's not helping. Evidence, maybe? No. We're reaching. No.
Just the one sugar. Thanks. Is that camera recording?
Actually, the first one. Oh, no.
Is that camera recording?
Something that I've not really looked into. Any mentions of the police?
When will the police let me back in the house? They let me take a bag of clothes with me, but... 1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful. They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Now I'm starting to get a bit suspicious of Eve if she had something to do with that.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape up. I think it was ours. I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way you would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Why would they need to look in the attic? Also, I'm an idiot and the clock is moving. I thought that was like a digital display, but it's not. That's supposed to be the date. I mean, it's not accurate to real life, but it's actually moving and I'm a bit stupid. Okay, moving on. So, right. I need to look for cellar and then attic.